I am personally extremely bullish on solar, as I think you are as well. But besides the technology discussion, there's been all of this discussion about how the U.S. government does or does not support solar manufacturing in the United States, et cetera. And I'm wondering what your take is on that. I will just make a comment that it seems to me that the discussion has not been terribly sophisticated in terms of looking at solar manufacturing as fundamentally a global industry with global supply chains.
It's true.
And so how would you see that? How would you see
I think manufacturing
trying to resolve this?
Right. So I mean, I think if you look at manufacturing from my point of view, it's a result of multiple inputs into the decision making of where you should manufacture and how you should manufacture. There's obviously the local demand helps in manufacturing. Doesn't always necessarily produce. For example, the Chinese manufacturing resulted a lot from what happened in Germany in terms of the demand that was created. So there's a demand part of it. There's the financing part of it. Access to capital, low cost is important. The idea of having skilled labor is, of course, extremely important. And so if you look at the nexus that manufacturing sits in, you're absolutely right. It is a global industry. And the question then is, how do we create a manufacturing? Should there be a manufacturing policy or not? I think you've got to address all of them, and as opposed to looking at manufacturing in an isolated way. Because manufacturing in isolation can lead to bad decisions because you don't have the other output and the input. Talking like an engineer, the input and the output has to be there. There has to be an innovation ecosystem that can get innovation into manufacturing. For example, if you go to a Intel production line out here, okay, if there's a defect that is found in many samples, they take it back to the lab, and under a microscope, they look at what's going on. So now that is manufacturing-related research that is going on, and so you need a research infrastructure. You need the skilled workers. You need the market and the financing. And then if you do that, you can actually then come up with sort of coherent policies that looks at the whole ecosystem as opposed to doing it in isolation.